and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. NCAA college football week 4. 3 weeks in, college football season. A few surprises, not really too many big ones. The cream of the crop always rise to the top. You know, the Power 5 conferences will dominate. They're the only ones that can make the playoffs. So, last week here on the Robert Sports Show, I went 18-5 in the win-loss and the picks, 12-8 against the spread, and 11-9 on the over/under. So, oh no, take that back. That was week 2. Week 3, I was 15-6 picks, 10-9 on against the spread, and 9-10 on the over/under, which for the 3-week totals comes to win-loss 61-12, against the spread 40-27, and over/under 30-37. So not great, not horrible, but I'm happy with it. Anything over 500 is happy with me when it comes to the over/under and against the spread. All right, so we have the Temple Owls 2-1 versus the 21st ranked South Florida Bulls 3-0. South Florida scored about 40 points a game. The line in this game is South Florida by 20.5 with an over/under of 58.5. I am taking South Florida to win. I'm taking them to cover the 20.5. Temple is only scoring 20 points a game, and their defense is giving up 27. And taking the under on the 58.5. Next, we have the 23rd ranked Utah Utes at 3-0 versus the 2-1 Arizona Wildcats. Utah is 3-0 versus against the spread this year. Obviously, they're 3-0 on the record too, so they're scoring 36.7 points a game when giving up 15. Utah is favored by a touchdown. I have them winning, covering, and I'm taking under on the 60. Texas Tech Red Raiders 2-0 versus the Houston Cougars, also 2-0. Houston's defense is giving up on an average of 9.5 points a game, while the Red Raiders are scoring 54 points a game. So this could be a unique game with that. Houston's favored by 6 at home with an over/under of 71 because of Texas Tech scoring so much. Texas Tech is giving up 27.5 points a game, which is about what Houston is scoring. I am taking Houston to win. They'll cover the 6, and I'm taking under on the 71. Next we have the UNLV Running Rebels at 1-1 versus the 10th ranked Ohio State Buckeyes at 2-1. That lost to Oklahoma this year in week 2. I don't think it's going to hurt Ohio State as much as it's going to help Oklahoma. Ohio State is favored by 40 at home. I have UNLV covering the 40. I know it's going to be a blowout, but I don't think it's going to be a 40-point blowout. And I'm taking over on the 63.5. Next we have the NC State Wolfpack at 2-1 versus the 12th ranked Florida State Seminoles at 0-1. Due to Hurricane Harvey and them missing 2 games, they're a little behind everyone. I don't agree with them still being ranked because of the 0-1 record and everyone else behind them. There's 2 lost teams that aren't ranked, or 2 win teams that aren't ranked. But I guess the committee's not holding it against them for not playing because of Irma. It will be interesting to see as the season progresses how those 2 games affect Florida State in the overall rankings and making the playoffs. Florida State is favored by 11. I have them winning. I have them covering the 11. I'm taking under on the 51. Next we have Kent State Golden Flashes at 1-2 versus the 19th ranked Louisville Cardinals at 2-1. Louisville favored by 42 at home. Lamar Jackson is playing lights out this year. 42 is a big number. That's hard for me to go with. I'm taking Louisville to win. Obviously, the way Lamar Jackson's playing. If that defense can only learn to stop someone, it would help. I got Kent State covering the 42, and I'm taking over on the 57. Next, we have the Old Dominion Monarchs at 2-1 versus the 13th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies at 3-0. Virginia Tech favored by 26 at home. I have them winning, covering, and under on the 56.5. Next we have the University of Central Florida Knights at 1-0 versus the 2-0 Maryland Terrapins. Maryland scored about 51 points a game, while Central Florida scored 61 in their opening game. Maryland is favored by 3.5 at home. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 67. Next, we have a big SEC matchup. We have the Alabama Crimson Tide, 3-0, number 1 ranked, versus the 3-0 Vanderbilt Commodores. Vandy's defense has given up 4.3 points a game. Well, have they really been playing top competition? Alabama scored 35 points a game. Alabama's favored by 18.5 on the road. I have them winning. I have them covering. I'm taking over on the 43.5. Next, we have the 16th ranked TCU Horned Frogs at 3-0 versus the 6th ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys at 3-0. This is going to be probably, besides Oklahoma, the winner of this will be in the Big 12 conference finals, because Big 12 only having one division. They're taking the top 2 teams. For the conference finals, I think Oklahoma, with them beating Ohio State earlier in the year, I think they'll be 1. And I think one of these 2 teams, because with 1 loss, and you may have 1 to 2, even if you have, both these teams ended up with 1 loss, head-to-head record's going to matter. So you got TCU scoring 49 points a game, Oklahoma State scored 54. Defenses, TCU giving up 14, Oklahoma giving up 17. I am actually, the actual line is Oklahoma State 13, over under 67.5. I'm picking TCU to win. I'm giving TCU to 13, but Oklahoma is going to cover the 13 and under on 67.5. So basically, I'm giving the line to TCU to 13, and then I'm taking TCU to win. It'll be under the 13, so Oklahoma State covers, and under on the 67.5. As you know, in Rubber Sports Show, I like to take some of the underdogs. I like to go after, hey, I think this could be the big upset this week. Which, is that really a big upset? I guess a 16 over 6 would be. Next, we have the 5th ranked USC Trojans 3-0 versus the California Golden Bears 3-0. A big Pac-12 matchup here that could have some ramifications during the Pac-12 season. These head-to-heads like this, especially with 2 undefeated teams. USC favored by 16.5 on the road. I have them winning, covering, and over on 63.5. Next, we have the Boston College Eagles at 1-2 versus the 2nd ranked Clemson Tigers at 3-0. A lot of people didn't see Clemson bouncing back this year with Deshaun Watson graduating. Hey, 3-0 or 3-0 already. Scoring 39 points a game. Defense is giving up 10. They're ready to rock. They're favored by 34.5 at home. I have them winning, covering, and under on the 53. Next, we have the Toledo Rockets at 3-0 versus the 14th ranked Miami Hurricanes 1-0. Another one of the Florida schools, unfortunately, due to Hurricane Irma, missed 2 games. How that's going to turn out in the standings at the end of the year? Are they going to be able to make those 2 games up? What's the plan there? How's the committee going to take into consideration, good teams, undefeated teams who miss games? Only time will tell. Miami favored by 13.5 at home. I have them winning, covering, and under on the 56.5. Next, we have the 8th ranked Michigan Wolverines 3-0 versus the Purdue Boilermakers 2-1. Michigan favored by 10 on the road. Purdue is actually 3-0 versus the spread this year, while Michigan is 1-2 against the spread. So Michigan's favored by 10. Picking Michigan to win. Purdue will cover, under on the 52. Next, we have the Nevada Wolfpack at 0-3 versus the 18th ranked Washington State Cougars 3-0. Washington State's favored by 28 at home. I have Washington State winning. Nevada covering under on the 64.5. Next, we have the third-ranked Oklahoma Sooners 3-0 versus the Baylor Bears 0-3. Oklahoma favored by 27. I have the Sooners winning, the Bears covering, and under on the 62.5. The 17th ranked Michigan State Bulldogs 3-0 versus the 11th ranked Georgia Bulldogs 3-0. Great SEC matchup here. A lot of good undefeated matchups like this week. Georgia 6.5 point favorite at home. Taking the Mississippi State Bulldogs, giving them the 6.5. They win, they cover, under on 48.5. I just think they're playing pretty good this year. Their defense is only giving up 9 points a game. The offense is scoring 47. I just have a feeling here, Mississippi State, this is their year to at least, I don't know if they'll make the Final Four, but at least they'll be in the conversation for a SEC title game. Syracuse Orange 2-1 versus the 25th ranked LSU Tigers 2-1. I have LSU winning. I have Syracuse covering the 23.5 and then under on the 56. We have the 22nd ranked San Diego State Aztecs 3-0 versus the 1-1 Air Force Falcons. San Diego State is favored by 3.5 on the road. I have them winning, covering, and under on the 47. Next, we have the 20th ranked Florida Gators 1-1 versus the 3-0 Kentucky Wildcats. Another SEC matchup. Florida favored by 3 on the road. I have them winning, covering, and under on the 44. Excuse me. 15th ranked Auburn Tigers at 2-1 versus the 1-2 Missouri Tigers. Another SEC matchup. Auburn's favored by 19 on the road. Yeah, but Missouri is not that good. Yeah, they got a lot of holes. Is Drew Lock really a good SEC quarterback? We'll see. The defense is giving up 36 points a game, while Auburn's is giving up 10.3. Auburn, I got them winning, covering, and under on 55.5. Next, we have a big Big Ten matchup. We have 4th ranked Penn State Nittany Lions, the defending Big Ten champions, 3-0, versus the Iowa Hawkeyes, 3-0. This one is in Iowa. Penn State favored by 12 on the road. If the Hawkeyes have any shot of winning their division, or even in the sniffing a Big Ten Conference championship this year, this is the game they need to get. They need to win. I'm actually taking the Iowa Hawkeyes. I'm giving them 3.5, which they'll cover, and under on the 53. Next, we have the 24th ranked Oregon Ducks 3-0 versus the Arizona State Sun Devils 1-2. Oregon scored about 56 points a game. They're favored by 15.5 on the road. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 75. Next, we have a Pac-12 matchup. We have the 7th ranked Washington Huskies 3-0 versus the 3-0 Colorado Buffaloes. Colorado's defense is giving up 9 points a game, averaging. Washington's favored by 10.5. I think the Huskies are a little bit better than Buffaloes. I got the Huskies winning, covering, and over on the 51. Next, we have the Southern Illinois Salukis at 2-0 versus the Memphis Tigers at 2-0. I got Memphis winning. And last but not least, we have the Wagner Seahawks at 1-2 versus the Western Michigan Broncos at 1-2. I got Western Michigan winning. That's what will wrap up week 4 of the NCAA college football season. As always, stay tuned to Rubber Sports Show for the NFL week 3. If you're a NASCAR fan, the ISM Connect 300 preview from New Hampshire, race 2 of the 2017 playoffs. And NASCAR stuff and all this on Robert Sports Show. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.